And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. On the relationship this morning, we discuss the trend of younger people's preferences for older partners. And with us on the couch is Olajumoke Olamiju. She's a peculiar lady, knowledge-seeking, impact-driven, and full of knowledge. She's also a mental health counselor from the Institute of Counseling Nigeria. She loves to learn, relearn, unlearn, and her focus is usually on adolescents and teenagers. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's been an interesting month, learning and relearning and unlearning, right? And this morning we're talking about younger people's preferences for older partners. First, I'm going to ask you, is there anything wrong with that?
I won't just say there's nothing wrong with that, because every relationship comes with its advantages and disadvantages. But generally, we can say there's really nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing. But if we look deeper, there are some things that we have to consider, especially when the gap is so wide. So wide.
What would you consider wide in terms of age gap?
I mean, very, like, let's say 20, let's say like the likes of 18 to 50 is wide.
18 to 50.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm indifferent. I have mixed feelings about this conversation because it's sort of a gray area for me, because I love to date older people. Yes. And that's not because, it's not because I haven't dated people in my pair. I have. But I have come to realize that it's easier dating people who are older. That's because they're wiser. And, well, I'd like to be taken care of, even though people might say, maybe it stems from daddy issues or daddy's issues. I don't think it does. I just feel that, this is my opinion now, right, based on what I like. I just feel that it is just easier. And there's also so much to learn from having an older partner. So when you say 18 to 50 might be quite a huge age gap, let's talk about some of the implications that stem from, the reasons for, why this might be an issue.
Why I said it might be an issue is that it depends on the individual's preference. Like, some people prefer that, okay, once you are dating somebody that is older than you, don't expect so much of something that has to do with your peers, at your peer range. Like the aspects of the romance, the aspect, maybe you're somebody that you always want to be on the social media. You might not get all those vibes from the older people. You might not get those vibes from the older people. So if you're cool with it, there's no problem. But you can't force them because of the age rate. The gap is different. What they call as what they call enjoyment in their own might not be what you really enjoy. So, but if you're ready for that, there's no problem.
So what you're saying now is you need to practically have a mental resilience for that sort of relationship. Now let's talk about communication, which I think is sort of a major issue in a lot of relationships, right? Just as you would easily communicate with your peer about certain issues that you might have, or certain concerns, let's use concerns, that you might have in the relationship, it might be you might need to deploy some sort of emotional intelligence when having such conversations with your older partner, because you don't want to, the lines could be easily blurred. And you don't want to come off as being disrespectful. So how do you properly communicate how you truly feel to your partner for him to, or her, right? Because, I mean, the man could be older, the woman can be older. It goes different ways or either ways. How do you communicate this properly?
Many a times, those that are even older are more patient.
Sure.
They are more patient because they know they are not dealing with somebody of their age range. And I will say they tend to even listen more. Yes, than being with your peer. They tend to listen more. They want to really understand what aspect you're coming from. So communicating with them at times will be like a father to daughter thing. like, okay, I'm listening to you. Is this what I'm doing wrong? Is this what I'm doing right? Okay, tell me, how do you want me to get better at it? But I would still say that it depends on the individual's personality, because we have some people that will be your age range, but they are matured when it comes to emotion.
Exactly.
So at times, it's not really the age thing. It depends on the personality of that individual. So communicating with an elderly person is not really an issue.
Now let's talk about communicating with a younger person,
Okay.
because these are people with different generational ideologies. We are not on the same, in terms of IQ, emotional intelligence.
Being younger.
The younger and the older person. We are we are operating on different levels in terms of our ideologies. For example, let's use Gen Z, and well, oh, you giggled. A Gen Z in a relationship with an older person. We know how they think. Their mindset is entirely different. How they think, how they function is completely different. How does an older person who has several concerns communicate to this younger person, helping them and teaching them on how to, because it's difficult to sort of it's difficult to sort of communicate how you want a Gen Z to learn a certain idea, something that they've known and they've learned all their lives, especially also in their circle, something they're used to, something they see all the time. That communication, how does the older person properly communicate this to a younger person?
The reality is that the moment you decide to date a younger person, you have to come to a meeting point, no matter what. If it's going to take you to really calm down, to learn their language, to speak their language, because you should know what you're getting into. Gen Z are people that are open and want to speak, they want to express themselves. So you wouldn't be expecting that the Gen Z will come to your level. In a way, you have to
go to their level.
Go to their level, learn their language, understand their emotions. You have to, there must be a meeting point where you can really communicate. You can't be on your high up there and expect to communicate with the Gen Z. You're not going to get anywhere at all.
I know that you talked about the age gap, at the point where when it's a problem is when the age gap is between 18 to 50. If a younger man is into older women, is there anything wrong with it?
Okay, recently what you were talking about, I was just ruminating on it and checking out some stuff. I'm like, okay, the reason behind a thing is what really matters. I had a younger client like that was like into
older women.
Yeah, and he won't mind, like, I didn't mention his name, so he won't mind sharing this. Okay. What are your reasons for this? He said he prefers that they are more matured, they're more independent, and what people of his peers will fuss about and cry about, these ones, they've gone beyond that level.
Exactly.
He said for his peace and mental health, he prefers older women.
Does that make him a mommy's boy?
No.
Because they're often referred to as mommy's boys.
No, that doesn't make him a mommy's boy. But if we look deeper also, some guys that find themselves in this shoe, if we go down to check out, it comes out from their excess love for their mothers.
Ah,
yes.
So they could also be referred to as mommy's boys.
Many a times their mother is their idol, and as a result of that, they want to see that aspect of mommy in their woman. So that's what happens.
All right. Then in terms of conflict resolution, because I feel like that is also a very, very, very intricate element in every relationship. We all have different styles of conflict resolutions, and spanning from different generations, how one generation will handle a conflict is different from the next. How would you advise that in this sort of situation, conflicts are resolved amicably, that both generations can, understand each other better?
Because we're in a generation of the moment is affecting my mental health, I'm out of it.
Exactly. Anything that threatens my peace.
Anything that threatens my peace, I'm out. I'm out. So I will ask them, the both of them that are in a relationship, what do you seek to get from this relationship? Do you want it to work regardless of any conflict? If that's your idea, then both of you have to learn what is called patience and emotional intelligence. You learn it together. Those two things are very, very important. So the way you will communicate with that person, especially when it's coming from an older woman to a younger guy, you have to learn patience. You have to remove that idea of I'm older than you. You have to seek the elderliness and the moving forward of the relationship.
Okay.
So you have to really bring yourself down and see it work.
As always, it's a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much. This is quite insightful because I mean I've also learned quite a lot from this conversation. And are we doing this again next week? Oh no, it ends this month. Oh, ends this week. Okay, but thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you all month. And on that note, the show continues shortly. We're going on a quick break. Stay with us.